Hey guys, Aaron here with Carnivore Trade. So I want to talk about natural gas today. Getting a lot of questions about natural gas and reason, rightfully so. Steep decline here from the peak last year. Fire in Freeport and much cooler or much warmer than expected winter for Europe. Really kind of saved them, and obviously storage is very high as a result. Now, a lot of people are looking to play this alongside. I am long, full disclosure, myself. But for the favorable risk reward, especially going into the second half of the year, fundamentally, things haven't changed here. And obviously, there's various reasons to that, especially with Freeport back online. Also, looking at seasonally, you're going to see we've pretty much followed this seasonal trend to a T. So, we topped out in November, we had a little sell, and then we continued to sell into February. We bottomed in the third week of February. We had that surge into March. And now we're into, early April, and, we could be getting ready to make a move here. But I've noticed a correlation, and I get a lot of questions about, from members, from, subscribers saying, like, shouldn't the dollar index be a tailwind for nat gas? And the thing is, nat gas is, the dollar index being down is generally considered good for commodities, but nat gas is a bit of a crazy uncle of the market, and it generally marches to the beat of its own drum. I was just playing around with it. Somebody asked me about that recently, and I just started to play around with it. And I noticed something yesterday, especially after the CPI numbers, and this morning with the PPI numbers. If we take a look at nat gas, and let's flip over to TradingView here. So I'm going to flip over to an intraday of the DXY, and you're going to see here right at 9 a.m. we had a pretty good dump. We went sideways down, and then we kind of upticked a little bit, and we sold off right ahead of the PPI number this morning. If you look at nat gas, it pretty much did the same thing. So down move in, right around 9, 10 o'clock, sideways. We had a little dump, then we upticked, and where did we sell off? Right at 8 a.m., right after 8 a.m. And we had a really good dump after the PPI number, just like the dollar did, obviously, as you would expect. If we flip back, okay, so, whatever, that's just 1 or 2 days, right? But let's flip back over here and let's throw a study on. So we're just going to compare that to the DXY. And we'll go back to last year. My argument now is that the nat gas is positively correlated to the dollar. If you can take a look here, back in 2021, 2022, we had that big surge and nat gas went up with the dollar. We had this kind of peak right here and a pullback, and then we went up here, and before we finally peaked in August, and the dollar, peaked not long after that, and then we came down, and the dollar has been selling ever since. And look at the double bottom here. If we close this up here, dollar put in a low, nat gas put in a low. It didn't rally with the dollar, but it didn't make new lows. And then we had this little roll, and then boom, it took off to the upside with the DXY. They both peaked around the same time, and now they're selling off together. And we can take a look here on the intraday. Looks pretty close here. They're even selling off together right now as we speak. So I believe, and if we take a look back over at the actual DXY, you guys know I've been talking about a double bottom, a pierce of double bottom. I think if that happens and you get a reversal in the dollar, that's where the low in nat gas is. So interesting correlation to watch. Keep an eye on it. Just something I was playing around with the last couple of days, especially after that CPI number and PPI number. Everything was going higher yesterday except for the dollar and nat gas. So that correlation, that's definitely positive. So we'll see if the dollar, you guys know I am expecting a low in the DXY here after a pierce of double bottom, which we're basically at right now. 101, 182 spot is 185, so maybe a little bit lower there. But watch that moving forward, especially since we're in that seasonal period here for nat gas to put in a bottom. Usually you put in a bottom late Q1, maybe early Q2, and then it's really off to the races really until June or July. And again, the second half of the year, the fundamentals are a lot different this time around. Again, barring any fires that happen at Freeport again or any other export facility, the fundamentals are going to be a lot different going into the second half of this year. But keep an eye on that correlation of dollar bottoms. We'll look at nat gas. Just wanted to point that out for you guys. But anyways, guys, going to wrap it up here. You guys take care. Stay tuned for the daily video later. Subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you guys all later.